Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Soapy. Good morning to Scorpio Queen. Good morning to everybody. Everybody up in the clouds, in the bushes, in the trees. Good morning. Please like my video if you have not already. Y'all, so this weekend was interesting. Interesting to say the least when it comes to the beef sector. When it comes to everything that we witnessed, everything that we saw. And you know something? It bothered me. This weekend truly bothered me. Good morning, Candy Cane. It bothered me because you know, I'm sure y'all saw me on a few different panels yesterday trying to explain the stance of this whole big man and Sour Patch thing. But I think what really bothered me is that the situation shouldn't even need any explanation. I was quite shocked to see so many people lack the comprehension about why this situation was so wrong. It surprised me that so many people lacked the understanding about why this whole thing was crazy. It also bothered me that people couldn't comprehend that taking advantage of a mentally delayed person is wrong. It got me side-eyeing a lot of people, I ain't even gonna lie. I had to sit back and side-eye. Good morning, Rick Reed. I had to sit back and side-eye the people that couldn't grasp the comprehension of it because, yes, Big Man is grown. I think Big Man might be 40 years old, y'all. I think he like 40 or 41. But mentally, he is not that age. Mentally, he is not. I heard people saying, well, even a mentally delayed person like him, they might want some push and all this. And I get all that. I understand. I understand people with disabilities, they still want companionship. I understand that. But you have to give them a companion that's on their level. Otherwise, they will be taken advantage of. This is the reason why a couple of months back when ODS was trying to hook Big Man up with the lady Verla from the Umar sector, I was okay with that. I don't know Verla too much, but I do know that based on what I got from the Umar sector, yes, she got flaws, but I think that she was a little bit more Big Man speed. At that time when ODS was trying to hook them up, I think she said that she was close to 50, if not 50. So she was a little bit slower. And I'm not saying slow like in a delayed aspect, but just as far as her life. So, yesterday I found myself going to different panels trying to explain a stance in defense of Big Man when honestly I shouldn't even have had to. Good morning, Veronica. I got to get over there and I saw, well, of course I got on YouTube cameras. Um and I couldn't believe the ignorance of Pizarro. Some people just be ignorant just to be ignorant, or giving horrible advice just because. And y'all, this is when I sit back and I truly know that some of these people really don't give a damn about people as a human being. I don't get how for Pizarro to be a mother of 4 daughters, according to her, how she was still thinking that certain levels and aspects of this entire situation wasn't wrong. And y'all, when I hear parents, especially mothers, um have to be explained this, it's crazy. And then sometimes I'm like, well, maybe are y'all that much into this application for your entertainment pleasure that y'all don't give a damn if a mentally delayed man is her up in the crossfire? Because everybody has been saying, oh well, big man, he always do this with girls, he is always thinking somebody is his girlfriend. Yes, he is, because he is delayed. The hell? Quite frankly, it reminds me of a little kid. Big man does. Y'all know little kids, whether they 5 or 6 years old, they could develop a crush on their teacher. The teacher is a whole grown person, but the 5 or 6 year old think that the teacher is their girlfriend. And they go around talking about, yeah, that's my girlfriend. Miss So and so is my girlfriend. Miss So and so is my girlfriend. And of course, that teacher know damn well that sh- she ain't with this little child. The teacher know damn well it's just a harmless crush, and the teacher don't entertain it. Hell, even sometimes the parents have to intervene and tell that child, hey, that's a grown person. You got to stay up in the child's place. That's not your girlfriend. To me, when I see big men develop this puppy love and infatuation with women up on here, that's how I view it. I view it as him being very, very childlike and just develop these crushes. And in his mind, that's what it is. I've heard people talk about how big man is a pimp and how he be macking these women up on here. Do he be macking these women, y'all, or is he emulating the things that he sees? Does big man really have game, or is he just doing what he sees other people do? Is he speaking the way that he see other people speak? Is he just doing mirroring what he sees? I remember when the merge first happened and the black sector started coming around. Deanna ain't nobody Deanna ain't nobody jealous. Girl, please. You said either way is working for him. Girl. Hey, good morning, Deanna. Good morning to Rob. Good morning to everybody, y'all. Deanna is a mess. Don't be jealous. Y'all, either way, I remember when the black sector had merged in, Big Man was trying to knock on Claudiva. And he was thinking that Claudiva was somebody he was going to be with. Only for him to do a one-on-one over there at Claudiva's channel. And that's when Big Man let it be known that he was a virgin. That's when he let it be known that, he had not been with anybody before. that's when he let all this stuff be known. But he was over there talking a big game to Claudiva. He talk a big game to Misunderstood. He come through and talk a big ass game to a lot of these women, but nobody takes it seriously. For that reason, I don't understand how Sour Patch took him seriously. And y'all, it bothered my spirit last night to see Sour Patch come live and finally tell the truth. When I saw this woman come live and finally say, I lied, Big Man was right. After she done led the entire YouTube on this crazy ass goose chase for the last week or two. After it done been somewhat of a manhunt on who is in the wrong and who was right about the situation. I saw so many people questioning and side-eyeing Big Man like he was wrong. And y'all, when I see that, I just feel like we are doomed in society. Deanna said just busting it wide open for Big Man. Right. But the fact that she lied, y'all, and it got me to thinking because I was arguing the point over there at YouTube cameras about, and Rick Reed, he brought a good point with this where he was saying that Big Man is like about 13 years old mentally. And he is. His judgment is off, y'all. It is. And when I sat there and got to thinking, y'all, me being from Mississippi, I can't stand when a non-black person lie on a black person in this way. Maybe you could call it Southern trauma or Southern prejudice. Call it whatever you would like. But I think being born and raised in Mississippi gives me a completely different lens when I look at situations like what we just saw this weekend. This is the reason why Emmett Till came to mind. And I'm sure that the title seems a bit dramatic. I'm sure it does. But y'all, when we look at the parallels here, Big Man is from Chicago. Emmett Till was from Chicago. Emmett Till went to visit Money, Mississippi to visit relatives for the summer. He got lied on, saying that he whistled at this white girl. He winked at this white girl. He blew a kiss at this white girl. Whatever. The story changes depending on who you hear tell the story. But either way, Emmett Till was 14 years old, y'all. 14 years old. For the life of me, I don't understand why the white girl lied. Yes, Deanna, the white girl lied. If Big Man has the mentality of a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old, then as big as he is and as old as he is, you got to look at where his mind is. And this is the reason why it made me think about Emmett Till. Being that 14-year-old boy that with a white girl lied, and he ended up losing his life. Thank the Lord this is a virtual space. But I mean, it was a lot of y'all that had turned on Big Man like crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, how y'all going to turn on him? How y'all going to turn on him? I'm like, good morning, Tuddy. Good morning, everybody. I saw the beef sector and this area of YouTube really question what he said out of his mouth about what happened because of what Sour Patch said. And being that Sour Patch is a non-black person, I watched a lot of y'all black asses take her side as the gospel truth. I witnessed y'all dismiss anything that came out of Big Man's mouth based on what Big Man had done or said about people being his girlfriend on here in the past. I watched y'all take what she said as the gospel truth and dismiss this man. The man kept coming back on his channel, trying to make everybody believe him. The man was ready to start producing receipts. She got over there, denied. Then she went and tried to get Rick to come and help her. Thank the Lord that she had told Rick the truth. Cause just think if she would have had lied to Rick and Rick wouldn't have knew all the stuff that he knew. Because if we're going to be honest, this whole sway in this situation started yesterday, I believe, because Rita did her live and then Rick did his live. And then, of course, people was reacting to Rick's live from yesterday morning. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Robin, moderator. Once people started reacting to what Rick said, then I started noticing a shift. But outside of Rick coming through and saying something, people would have still been believing Sour Patch over Big Man. And y'all know that people lie. Sour Patch hangs out in our area in this sector of YouTube. But at the end of the day, Sour Patch is non-black. I mean, she proudly speaks on it, which is her right. She should not feel any type of way. Good morning, Room Shaker. She should not feel any type of way about her culture or her heritage or whatnot. She should be proud. But I think the problem that I had with it is the nerve of you to lie on this man. And you watch people question this man for easily the last week. A whole week. Even though you knew you was lying. Y'all, it reminded me of a true story within my family. Oh, let me see what Rick said. Rick said, to me, it was unbelievable that Big Man could actually pull something. Then it was someone affiliated with me. I was appalled. I get it, Rick. And I mean, it says a lot about Sour Patch. And when she went live last night, and I was just right there up in the bushes listening to her explain but not explain, confess but not confess. And I witnessed people click that little heart. Y'all know at the bottom corner of the live screen, the little heart thing. I saw people just giving her hearts and stuff. And I'm like, how y'all giving her all these hearts when she lied? To me, Sour Patch Live last night made me feel like she had pulled the page out of King Roman's book. Y'all remember when King Roman had to come out here and take accountability for getting Rico locked up behind a dog? When he had to get on here and say, look, y'all, I took it too far. I was wrong. And he gave us this whole apology and all this. That's what it felt like to me in her live, what she was doing. And the crazy thing is, she was saying a whole lot, but not saying nothing at all. But the biggest thing that I noticed that she was saying was that she was a liar. Then I noticed her privilege. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. We say this is a black space, but I witnessed y'all put white privilege or non-black privilege on Sour Patch for the last week in our space. In our space, y'all put this girl on the pedestal and believed her bullshit. Let me see. Oh, good morning, Dreaming Jeannie Blue. What bothered me was the whole calling him a predator when she sent the stuff. That right there, Rick Reed, that right there. The fact that she knows she did it, she called him a predator. She called him a creep. She called him creepy. All of this. But he wasn't lying. Now she's sitting there lying through her damn Mexicana teeth about this whole circumstance. But then as she sit there lying, she calling him all these names. And y'all eating it up. Y'all eating it up. But he wasn't lying though. If anything, I think that Big Man is mimicking a lot of what he see everybody else on here doing. He mimicked the way people talk, even the fighting. People was like, well, Big Man done fought and he said horrible things. I was over there on YouTube cameras yesterday, and YouTube cameras was like about how he done fought and he not innocent and all this. He in the damn beef sector. What y'all expect him to do? Hell, he over here with us, then he see everybody else fighting. Hell, if he look around here, he see everybody else fighting and hurling insults and all this kind of bullshit. Well, what y'all expect him to do? He gonna fight too. Yesterday on YouTube cameras, people were saying about how Big Man is harmless. YouTube camera said that she don't believe Big Man is harmless. I believe that Big Man is harmless. What Big Man gonna do? I think that people get it confused that because this man might be I don't want to use the word genius. He might be very, very intelligent when it comes to computers and things like that. That's just one aspect. But socially, he's just not there. People was like, well, look at he know how to make intros. Look how he edit his videos. He know how to do this with the computer. And do y'all know how many kids are Wiz kids? Hell, it was a story that somebody posted. I think about a 6-year-old going to college. That's still a motherfucking 6-year-old, even though that he at college. He's still 6 years old. Like the fuck? I mean, sometimes things really just confuse the hell out of me. But the fact that she started all this and lied, it's just unbelievable to me. And what I noticed is when she was live last night, y'all, the more that I listened to her live, the angrier I got. I got so angry. The more that I just listened to her confess. And the more that I listened to her confess, and I wonder, girl, what kind of mindset do you have? To be honest, y'all, about a week or two ago when this first came out, and I saw her really on the panel talking about how Big Man was her teddy bear and how she loved him. It was at that moment that I thought that she might be slow. And that's not me being shady. I legitimately was like, oh, she gotta be slow. If she really taking him seriously like this, she gotta be slow. But then I witnessed her trying to do this, that, and the third with Lemon. And I'm like, wait a second. Had me scratching my head. Good morning, Uncle Claude. It had me scratching my head, and I'm like, well, I said I thought she was slow, but she's still trying to get with Lemon. So I didn't know what to think. And that was one of the reasons why I was waiting for Rick to come out here and give his point of view. Because I found myself stuck between thinking that Sour Patch was slow. And I'm like, well, if anybody knows she's slow or not, Rick would know. That was my thought. And then I was like, I started trying to rationalize it. And I'm like, well, maybe that's why Rick had her back all these years, because Rick knew she was slow. Maybe that's why Rick, always supported her like this, because he always knew the truth. Only for Rick to come out here and we realized the motherfucker ain't slow at all. But something is wrong. Something is wrong. Dreamy said they both they both seem slow and it's gross. Yeah, please like the video. Robin said, I listened for about 10 minutes and I clicked off. Robin, you would have been so angered listening to it, because I know damn well I was. I felt myself seething. I felt myself seething because it's stuff like this that get black people killed in real life. In real life. Now, back to my Mississippi roots, y'all. And the reason why this kind of hit close to home for me, just listening to everything. So, everybody knows that my family is from South Mississippi. I talk about it quite often. But there was a very similar instance that happened in my family, and it happened in 1956, y'all. A real story. The man, let me let me bring up my other window. There was a man in South Mississippi. Hold on. There is a man in South Mississippi, and I'm bringing up his picture just so that y'all can see. His name was Mac Charles Parker. Mac Charles Parker. Let me go ahead and present my screen. It's always good to have a face. This is Mac Charles Parker, y'all. This man was falsely accused of raping a white woman. Had to have been maybe about, I would say, a good 30 miles from my hometown in 1956. He got falsely accused, y'all. Once this white lady falsely accused him, the police, the sheriffs, the judges, all of these people were a part of the Klan, of course, y'all know. And they did a whole roadblock to hunt down this man. But they did the roadblock and was essentially pulling over black men and taking them into custody, trying to find this one man. And my great uncle was picked up that night. And he got put in jail that night. My great uncle. While they was looking for this man. My great uncle was in the jail cell when they finally brought this man in there. Long story short, just like what Mississippi do, once they got this man into custody, my uncle used to always tell us stories about that night and about his night in jail while they looking for this man that allegedly had raped this white woman. And My uncle explained to us how he was right there when a mob came into the jail, pulled this man out of his cell, and they lynched him and drowned him in the Pearl River. In the Pearl River. My uncle used to always tell us stories like this. Well, actually, my grandparents, I mean, my family has experienced so much of this stuff over the course of the years in South Mississippi. It's not even funny. And just to see Sour Patch lie in this way really took my mind back to this. Thank the Lord we are safe behind our computer screens. But the thing that really pissed me off about this situation is when Sour Patch was calling Big Man the predator and saying about how he was the creep, she talked about getting the law involved on him. Make that make sense. How you going to be, good morning, Miami Popo. How you going to be the one in the wrong? How you going to be the one that enticed this man? How are you going to be the one that's of sound mind? And you talk about getting the law involved on him, only for you to go live last night and admit that you lied about everything. People is crazy. I wonder how many of y'all have y'all heard anybody yelling about canceling Sour Patch? I mean, y'all black asses be quick to be ready to cancel me for any old thing. Y'all be ready to cancel my black ass, ban me off the panel, block me off the chat, do all of this kind of bullshit of little or nothing. But I ain't heard y'all talking about canceling this woman who lied up on this special needs black man, put a predatory jacket up on him, then finally came through and tell the truth after a week of people questioning and side-eyeing, thinking this boy lying. That's crazy. Where is the yelling at the cancel her ass? Yeah. And then that was one thing that had made me feel bad for Big Man. And that's another reason why when Rick was turning up on him, I was like, Rick, because I understand you can black out sometimes when somebody that angered you up on here. Yes, you can. But you always have to keep everything in perspective. I done seen Big Man cry on this application a couple of times. But the main reason why I saw him cry was because his mama passed away. Y'all, if I'm not mistaken, I think his mama passed away during the time that he was on this application. And I witnessed him cry. And I remember even back then when his mama passed away, I was like, damn, I said, now I know if anybody looked out for him, his mama was looking out for him. And now that she ain't there, then who's looking out for him? This is the reason why he does have guardian. This man ain't all there. And the fact that Sour Patch could take advantage of that is her taking advantage of a vulnerable person. Because at the end of the day, he is a vulnerable person, y'all. Lady Snoop had got on YouTube cameras yesterday morning. She was like, well, just because he can't spell or just because he can't write, that don't make him slow. Which I know she was just joking to lighten the mood. She was talking about, hell, she can't spell and she can't write. I know that she was saying that to, lighten the mood, but It's very serious. Just this. Then I got to thinking, I'm like, y'all don't have special needs people up in y'all family or up a friend of y'all's or somebody that you know. Y'all ain't got no people that y'all think are vulnerable people or vulnerable adults that you care about. Ain't no way you will want somebody like a Sour Patch taking advantage of them. This is the reason why I was really like, okay, well, was she trying to get his disability check? What's going on? Good morning, Ivane. Hey, Ray Triggs. Thank you, Ray Triggs. I appreciate it. Ray Triggs, moderator. I was like, what's going on? And let me put it up here. Thank you, Ray Triggs. Ray Triggs contributed to my goal. Thank you so much. But I'm like, it's wild to me that people couldn't see or understand this situation. And even outside of the Emmett Till reference, because again, Emmett Till was lied on. The white woman lied. Emmett Till lost his life behind it. Sour Patch lied. Big Man TV had to fight for his YouTube life. I mean, it's just very similar. But when I sit back and I really just think about how did y'all need convincing to believe him? It goes back to that saying, white is right. Is white right? White folks tell the truth. Do they? You could believe a white person over the black person. Oh, really now? At the end of the day, even when she was threatening and talking about putting the law involved, I had got on Rick Reed's and I was like, if you try to call the cops about Big Man, and as soon as they see Big Man, they gonna question you about what in the hell you was doing with him. What in the hell did you say? And see, that's called manipulation. And I think that's another part, another level of it that angers me. Cause that's some master manipulating stuff. Yes, people with disabilities can be manipulative, but every single time that she was texting this man that she loved him, that was her manipulating him, y'all. Let's call a spade a spade. Every single time she told that man she loved him, she knew damn well that he was taking that in a different way. She knew it. He was thinking that she really loved him. He thought they had a real relationship, that was really his girlfriend. Her texting him that she loved him, calling him her teddy bear, her big teddy bear. I saw one text message receipt on somebody's community wall or somewhere where she was calling him daddy. But yeah, she saying that no, they was just friends. She had him in the friend zone. Every single time that she said anything of that nature or sending him gifts of sexual acts and things like that, was her manipulating him, y'all. And if she is capable of manipulating big men through her damn computer, imagine the type of manipulation she could do in real life. Hell, she manipulated most of y'all to believe her word over his. Let's talk about it. She manipulated most of y'all black asses to take her word for it when she was lying through her spread out, spaced out teeth. Good morning, VA Sagittarius. Please like my video. Just lying. Yeah, I can't stand a liar. Y'all done known me on here long enough to know I can't stand a liar or when somebody done lied on me or things like that. But yeah, it's just a lot of this that just don't sit well with me. And that's why I'm like, I was so happy that Big Brother came on last night for me to kind of just escape and watch Big Brother and get into my game of my show that I love. Because this right here was crazy to me. And I this happens every single day in society. And this is supposed to be the space. Well, we should be able to believe big men. Big men ain't have no need to lie. But hell, Sour Patch ain't have no need to lie either. But even in her live last night, when she was giving that long drawn out explanation, she said she was embarrassed. So because you was embarrassed, you went and did this string of lying because you were embarrassed. Don't it remind you of them teachers that get caught up messing with a high school student? And they get the line and line and line because they were embarrassed. But as long as they was engaging in that act of messing with that teenage student, as long as they was getting them text messages and phone conversation and being flattered and complimented, they wasn't embarrassed then. They was enjoying it just for the thrill of it. But as soon as they get caught, they so embarrassed. Why? Because we know what you was really doing. And actually, why would she feel embarrassed if what she was doing was right? If her in this relationship or whatever this was with big men was even appropriate, then why does she feel embarrassed? She feel embarrassed because she know damn well she shouldn't have been messing with that special needs man like that. She know damn well she shouldn't have been leading him on. She know damn well she shouldn't have been playing with his heart like that. Probably playing all these mind games. Especially once it done came out that she married. Like what? What's that white lady name? Mary Kay Letourneau? You Mary Kay Letourneau Garcia looking bitch. Kay Letourneau Garcia. Y'all couldn't stand the motherfucking Mary Kay Letourneau. And you know Mary Kay got Mary Kay Letourneau got pregnant by that little teenage boy and had several of his kids and shit. And even when she was up in the jail. And y'all, if I'm not mistaken, I think she recently passed away. For some reason, I feel like I read about Mary Kay Letourneau passed away or something. But my point is, there is no need to be ashamed or embarrassed if what Sour Patch was doing was right. But she knew it was wrong all along, which is the reason why she feel the embarrassment now. Big Man said that this whole situation had lasted since February, y'all. February. The nerve of her to get him wrapped up in this bullshit during Black History Month. Y'all know that's what my mind went when I heard Big Man say February. I said, I know this bitch didn't get with him during Black History Month of all months. And they had this whole charade just play out over 6 months and stuff. Big Man was damn near doxxed. Rick had got pissed off and was about to dox the hell out of him. Meanwhile, she's sitting right there knowing damn well she lying. That's why I'm so happy Rick had calmed down and didn't even go all the way out with doxing and stuff, because at the end of the day, she was lying. When I saw everything that was going on Rick's panel in the wee hours that morning, and I saw her jumping up there laughing and ha 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 at Big Man because Rick dragging him. Like, how you laughing at Rick dragging him, but you liked him and you dealt with him for the last 6 months and you entertained him, play with his emotions. He was the same fat dude that you was texting calling your teddy bear. But now you laughing because Rick dragging him. Make it make sense. I hope that y'all actually, yes, the beef sector is entertainment, but y'all better look at this shit and be really serious about it. And for a lot of the people that was really trying to blame Big Man, I pray that y'all, I pray that y'all don't have any special needs, relatives or friends or anything like that. I pray. Imagine if the genders were swapped, because that was another thing that I thought about, the genders. Because Big Man is a guy, people be letting a lot of shit that happened to dudes slide. Even when I talk about the teacher and the teenage student, them female teachers be doing the most sometimes with these teenage students that are the boys, and society be letting a lot of that shit go by the wayside because it's a boy. But if Big Man were a girl, it would be a different story, y'all. And then it makes you question what is with this whole gender thing within our society. Because wrong is wrong, whether the special needs person is a boy or a girl. Wrong is wrong, whether the underage person is a boy or a girl. Grooming is grooming is grooming is grooming. Even what I listened to and I heard her say as well up in her long ass video, she stated that the night that Big Man first started airing her out, they had an argument. She said that they had an argument because she was trying to tell him to stop calling all these other girls his girlfriends because they don't care about him. These were her words. She said she was trying to tell Big Man that all of these girls that he considered his fruit snacks on here really don't care about him. They really don't like him. They really not into him like that, so he needs to stop with them. If you really sit back and listen to her saying that, she was trying to cut him off of the other girls. That's what she was trying to do. But meanwhile, she sucking Lemon's left nutsack. Bitch, you can sit over there and suck Lemon dick every night, but then you gonna tell this man that he gotta cut off his little whatever, these friends, fruit snack, whatever he calling them on here. Make that make sense. Is that not a form of isolation? That's a form of control, a form of manipulation. Because now you're trying to isolate him from his core audience on here. You gonna sit there and tell him that them other girls don't really care about him, what, so that he could believe that you do care about him? Big man, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. You don't care about him either. Let's talk about it. You ain't care about him either, but you trying to be in control. But meanwhile, you go over there and sit in the Discord with Lemon whenever you feel like it. But you trying to tell this man what to do. When Big Man told me that was one of the reasons why he never did email Verla, I about lost my shit. Cause I'm like, Verla is like a couple of hours away from him. That could have just been just a friend to have. Not nothing romantic, but just a friend. But with the way she was trying to control and manipulate the whole situation, he wasn't even trying to have her as a friend. But meanwhile, she over there at the Discord going to sleep and watching movies with damn Lehman. It blew my mind to see and to hear her say that. So yeah, she said that when she told him that them other girls didn't really care about him and that they not really into him like that, she said they got into an argument. She said she ended up, I don't know if she hung up on him or what, but she ended up going to Lemon's live. Just the fact that y'all just had this big old blowout fight, according to you, and the first thing that you do is haul ass over there to Lemon's platform. Was you picking? Now you know that you just done fought with the man about his support and his fruit snacks and these other girls on here. And you take your ass over there to Lemon and get up on the panel so that he could see you up there up on the panel. Oh, okay. Okay. You wanted him to see you up there on the panel with Lemon so that he would get triggered and get jealous. Let's really call it out, Sour Patch. And it worked. Cause he saw you up there and he got jealous and he went live on your raggedy ass. And that's what you needed. That's what you deserve. Your tactic worked. And he went live on you when he started telling the truth and airing you out. To be honest, that night that Big Man had went live, that's how I knew to go over there to his live, y'all. Cause on this particular night, I was up, but I was about to get ready to go to bed. And I peeked into Lemons just to, because a lot of times I peek in there just to hear what they talking about, to see if it's anything worth me tuning into. And in that moment where I was listening, I heard somebody reading out the chat. Somebody on the panel was reading out the chat telling Sour Patch that Big Man had went live on her. And that's all I needed to hear. I said, Big Man went live on her. Why? So I left out of Lemon Live, went over there to Big Man Live, and Big Man over there airing her the hell out. That's the live that Big Man had where y'all saw me up on the link with him, because I had just heard Lemon them say that, tell Sour Patch that Big Man was live on her. So that's why I went over there. And I ended up getting on the link and asking them questions and all this. I was trying to make sure. Good morning, Flying Low. Good morning, Ayana Thompson. Good morning. But yeah, that's what made me be over there, in order to get up on his link and ask him questions. But yeah, so whatever tactic her going over there to get on Lemon's panel after she just argued with him about him having support from other women, and then she go over there to Lemon's. Well, you damn right. He went live on your ass, and I think you might have deserved it. He aired you out. You didn't like it. Then the whole saga began. Just the fact that if you had talked to Rick and Rick was like, well, just leave it alone. And one thing that I did hear her keep saying up in her live, she said she just couldn't let it go. That's what she kept saying, y'all. In that live that she did last night, she kept saying, "Yeah, Rick told me not to do anything, not to say anything, but I just couldn't let it go. I just couldn't let it go." And the multiple times that I heard her say that she couldn't let it go. She couldn't let it go. Leads me to believe that Big Man was right, because Big Man said that once she kept doing all this mess with Lemon, he said he got sick of it and he was ready to move on. But in her own words, in her own life, she said, but she couldn't let it go. Why you couldn't let it go? You said you embarrassed about it now. Now that everybody know you embarrassed. So why you couldn't let it go? Or you just want to keep leading him on and stringing him along? You have to wonder if she just was stringing him along because it was fun for her, like a game for her, or if some way, shape, or form she really liked him. It's so many questions that you have to sit back and ask yourself about this. But the main thing is, it's people that lie like what Sour Patch lied that could get your black ass killed. And that's my problem. Can get you damn killed. Mm-mm. I've heard a few people in the past talk about social experiments here in the sector. And please like my video if y'all haven't. Social experiment. Remember when Brooke lied about the baby? She said it was a social experiment. Even though I know that was a bold-faced lie. When this was Craig for about a year, a year or two, she said that was a social experiment. Which I could kind of believe that, but it was still a lie. But this whole situation seems like a social experiment because it really showed how easily people could be swayed by what a white bitch say. And I know Sour Patch ain't white, but she white enough. She white enough. I can say though that I'm happy that once people started seeing it for what it really is, then they gave Big Man the benefit of the doubt. But and I saw Rick and I saw Tracy and Rita, Deanna, all of these ones speaking out. But then I saw crazy ass Pizarro up on YouTube cameras trying to get Big Man to drop this girl's pictures and stuff, like that wouldn't get Big Man in trouble. It be moments like, well, pretty much every day, and y'all, I gotta be honest, but every day when I interact on here, especially with Pizarro, I know that I would never hang out with her in real life. It's a few people that I would not, because that level of ignorance is crazy. And just the fact that you would advise him because you want to see. Why do you want to see Sour Patch puss? First and foremost, why you want to see it? The way she was so eager over there at YouTube camera saying that he need to put the receipts out, put them out for him to get in trouble. But why you want to see it anyway? Because you the same bitch that was in the uproar because of my community wall. But now you encouraging this man to put these pictures for what? I'm happy he ain't do it. But again, why does she want to see it? Pizarro was the only person that I know out here that was really seriously wanting to see this girl's whatever she done sent Big Man. And I'm like, why? Hell, I'm the lesbian and I'm not even interested in seeing Sour Patch pussy. She already looked like Elvira when she be putting her makeup on. I couldn't imagine how a puss look. I'm not interested. Big Man, keep your pictures, but move on. But yeah, it's a lot of similarities that I saw with just how a white person could just lie on you and get you fucked up. Mm-mm-mm. I am happy that the truth finally did come to the surface, though. I wonder if she would have finally came out with the truth like what she did, though, y'all, if it wasn't for everybody applying pressure. Because eventually, the pressure got tough. The pressure was unbearable for her. Let's be real. People was applying pressure. Rick applied pressure. Tracy applied pressure. And for her to say up in her live that it was because of Tracy's live, how she had hurt her Tracy cakes, that she came clean with the truth. So if it wasn't for Tracy coming live and saying what Tracy said, applying more pressure, then you would have kept this lie going. Sour Patch, one of them white bitches that'll get you killed. Mm-mm. But yeah, y'all, it's just very interesting. If y'all don't take a step back and reevaluate some of y'all's thoughts and just how easily persuaded and swayed y'all were, just off the words of her. And again, Big Man is 40 years old, yes. But mentally, he is not 40 years old. Mentally, he is not. Pizarro had the nerve to tell me that I don't act my age. Like, I almost said something crazy, y'all. She gonna tell me I don't act my age, but look at her. I'm like, when she was just saying all this ignorant stuff, I know that she thought that it was entertaining and it was funny, but nothing about it was funny. For you to tell me that I don't act my age, but you don't act like a mother. You don't. You damn sure don't act like a mother of four. Don't act like a mother of four girls. Like, y'all, it was disgusting. How she was just trying to sway this situation. It was just weird. Mm-mm. But at least she finally told the truth, y'all. At least she finally told the truth. But I just wanted to come here and speak to y'all real quick about that particular comparison. It was really ticking me off too on YouTube cameras yesterday, like how Glitter Boots just kept trying to redirect everything back to Lemon. That's weird. I ain't no Lemon fan, but I think it's odd his fixation on Lemon and the Billy Goat. The Billy Goat, the way he fixated on Lemon is weird. And y'all have to understand what's today's date? August 25th. Y'all, it was August 22nd of last year when they all went to Vegas. So it's done already been a full year. And the Billy Goat is still pressed and mad. Which is his right to be pressed and mad. But how long that's gonna last? We watched over the course of this year, we don't watch the Billy Goat lose his mind, lie about sex acts that happened between them, lie about all of this type of bull mess, cry because he done got pulled out of the closet. Just a lot. These antics are weird. He will probably have a couple of lives today about Lemon. Just like yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before and the Discord and the pussy card and this, that. It's weird. But back to Sour Patch. I just, only God knows what gratification she got from stringing big men along. Only God knows. Most of us here is probably just shaking our heads in disbelief because you can't really comprehend it. But either way, y'all, I'm done talking to y'all this morning. At first, I was going to talk a little bit longer to wait for YouTube cameras to go live, but I don't see her started up her live yet. Plus, there's a couple of things that I want to do this morning. Good morning, Muffy. It's a few things that I want to get done this morning, so that's why I ain't going to prolong this. I just want to come and say my point, get to my point, and move it right along. I was going to try to redirect to her, but let me see if anybody is on. Let's see. Y'all, it's crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Sometimes you would say, there is nothing new in the beef sector. There is nothing shocking in the beef sector, but y'all be shocking the fuck out of me sometimes. Y'all shock the hell out of me sometimes, and I just be like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? But then y'all turn around and say, I'm the one that ain't got no sense. No, I think y'all don't got no sense. Sometimes I be thinking y'all ain't got a lick of sense. Y'all, I was looking here to see, if anybody was on for me to redirect y'all to, but ain't nobody on this early, y'all. Ain't nobody on this early. So either way, I done been here for over an hour, which is good enough. Mary Mack said, good morning, Dunn. They lie about everything. You can tell they're holding on for dear life. Anyone who takes advantage of a mental illness is crazy work. Yeah. And just the fact that you have to explain and explain and explain and explain why it's wrong is wild to me. That you have to explain why it's wrong. But like I said, Sour Patch clearly knew it was wrong. That's why she feel embarrassed. She know it's wrong. That's why she feel embarrassed. That's why she feel shame. That's why she feel guilt. Because she knows she was wrong. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Y'all have a great Monday. Have a great start to your work week. Please like my video, share my video if you have sharing capability. Thank you, Ray Triggs, for contributing to my goal this morning. It's greatly appreciated as always, y'all. I'm going to get up off here and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.